It began slowly, so slowly in fact that I didn't see it coming. When I first met him, he was really good to me. I wanted to believe that he was different from all the abusive people in my past. And it seemed he was. He was protective. He treated my kids like they were his own. I thought he was the only one who would take care of us. The kisses and sweet talking felt real. I desperately wanted love. And he was selling me the dream I wanted since I was a little girl. That I would have a happily ever after. Then, things began to change. Simple phrases like, wear your hair this way. No, this color's better. We don't need 2 cell phones. Then a slap here and there, even a choke. But I'd rationalized it away on him being drunk. Besides, he'd apologized. I didn't mean for that to happen. I was out of my mind, he'd say. I believed it was my fault. I thought I needed to be better, so our relationship would improve. When I learned that I was pregnant, I was hopeful it would show him how committed I was to our relationship. But things only got worse. He started drinking more and using drugs. The dark side he had hidden for so long came out. Now, even when he was sober, he was hitting me. He was demanding. The house had to be a certain way. Dinner had to be on time. The more pregnant I got, the more demanding and abusive he got. He even told me, "You're my property now." Then, we got married. Slowly, I let other people go in my life. He would tell me that this friend or that family member was a bad influence, or that they didn't truly love me. Eventually, he was the only person left in my life. Things continued to get worse. I tried kicking him out of the house. I tried leaving him, but because we were married, he was able to have me involuntarily committed to a mental health facility. He convinced people I was emotionally unstable. He took my kids away and changed his phone number. He threatened that if I left him, I would never see my children again. And I believed him. Eventually, I was released and I went back to him. One night, he suggested we relax together. He hit me and then put a pipe in my mouth. When I inhaled, all the pain went away. And after that, I was no longer dependent just on him, but also on drugs. The first time he made me sleep with someone for money, I didn't even know what was happening. He told me the beatings would stop if we had money. He made me feel like it was my idea. When the drugs wore off that night, I sat in the shower and cried and cried. When I refused to do it again, he locked me in our bedroom and began bringing the men to our house. I managed to leave a few times, but he'd always find me and punish me for leaving. One time, he found me hiding at a hotel and gave me a black eye and bruises everywhere. He even ripped off my pants and forced me outside in the middle of winter. A police officer approached me and asked me if I was okay. But when I turned and saw my husband in the window of the hotel room, I was too scared to say anything. I knew he would kill me, so I went back. I didn't believe anyone could stop him. He was so charismatic and everyone believed him, but no one believed me. Finally, he went to prison for a crime unrelated to me, and I was able to get away from him for good. I stopped using drugs and completed my probation. I thought I was free, but I didn't realize that the emotional, mental, and physical trauma I had experienced was still impacting me. I continued to relapse, seeking happiness in relationships with men, meaningless, unhealthy relationships. Even though I never prostituted again, I turned to other criminal activities so I could feed my drug addiction. The drugs kept me from falling asleep, so I wouldn't drink. They numbed me, so I wouldn't.
Rachel's story is not unique. More often than not, people are trafficked not by strangers, but by people they know, including family members. We've worked with survivors sold by their husbands and those sold by their own mothers, right here in Hampton Roads. Both are heartbreaking. Regardless of whether familial trafficking happens to a child or an adult, the impact of trauma on the human body takes a significant toll. So while it's important to meet the basic needs of survivors, such as food, clothing, and shelter, and even to empower them economically, if we don't address their mental and psychological health needs, they'll remain stuck, unable to ever experience true freedom.